Hello, I'm Steve Stewart from Vric.Consulting, and this is Vricipedia, your guide to children's services recruitment and retention, chapter 2.2, managed service providers, master vendor. Okay, so managed service providers, we talked about this before. There's single point of contract, single contracts, procurement exercise, different models of supply, master vendor, vendor neutral, hybrid, and joint venture. Now, what we're going to presume here is that your council, in its wisdom, has decided that they are going to go for a master vendor system. And what does a master vendor system actually look like? Well, how it works is that there is a single point of contact, as there is for ME, and MSP, but that point of contact is going to be an agency. And that agency, or employment business, if we're given the correct terminology, is going to attempt to fill every vacancy themselves. Unless they specify otherwise. They're going to attempt to fill every vacancy themselves. It's going to come to them and they supply staff. They're going to be supported, however, by a range of others, underneath them, okay? Now, the perceived advantages of a master vendor system is that you have a specific recruiter. So they are going to go and try and recruit and create pools of staff ready for you to go and pick from. And that you have the ability to build that relationship over time so they get to know what your needs are. They're going to need to know is that in certain times of the year, if pressures are high or whatever, so they can build that relationship. The other idea as well is that if there is, previously they might have had 10 or 15 if they're a previous supplier to you, but vacancies, but now they're going to have 400, 450. Your importance as a client, you should get priority access is the idea. Now, master vendor, what do you ask as a children's services department of a master vendor when you're deciding on which master vendor to go and pick? So again, the questions are pretty much the same as before. Will it supply adequate staff, both in terms of numbers, quality, and here I've included specialism. Yeah, is that you do have agencies that provide everything, or supposedly everything. You have those with specific divisions and so forth. But you have a certain areas of niche supply within local government and specifically within children's services. They might actually be able to provide an awful lot of staff in an awful lot of areas, but can they supply ed-psych, for example? Can they go, have they specifically got something that meets your needs in certain areas? Are you really big on youth offending? Are you really big on children's res or whatever? Can they supply the numbers and quality in those kind of areas as well? Do the KPIs support service delivery? Well, the KPIs that often accompany things such as master vendor agreements suggest that the numbers from the core that's provided by that central master vendor will be high. And it is perceived as advantageous for them to get higher throughout the term. Yeah? So they start at 80% year one, 90% year two, 95% end of contract. That's the idea. But you've got to ask the question, how does that support you in terms of getting the numbers and quality? If they're supplying everyone themselves, you might get the best staff to start with, but is the quality going to go down over time if they've got to increase the percentage of workers from themselves? The timings. By that I mean is if they can't fill it themselves and they do have support agencies, when do those support agencies get access to that vacancy, and does that meet your needs and requirements? What happens to staff from existing agencies? Yeah? Is that when you transfer, what happens to them? An awful lot of agencies will want them to go onto their books. Well, actually, no. They'll want to sign those agencies. But again, is that those margins might be on lesser rates. So therefore, what's going to happen to those members of staff? Are they actually going to seek to start placing them elsewhere? And again, what about agencies willing to sign? Because there are some agencies that will expect after a period of time for those workers to leave their existing agency and go and join their agency. Now, when you're sat as a recruitment consultant, do you really want that to happen? When effectively it's a candidate-driven market for social workers, they are your currency. Do you really want to be handing them over to someone else for no reason? What is the makeup of those supporting agencies? How broad are they? Or do they support your aims and objectives? Is it sustainable? And again, I'm not asking about whether the price is too high. Is the price too low? Is it going to support? Is it going to bring in other agencies to supply you ahead of your neighbours? Methods of investigation. So if you've got a query or concern about a member of agency staff, who is going to be responsible for that investigation? And if it isn't you, are you going to automatically be able to take what the findings of that investigation are, even if you don't agree with them? And what are the expectations on managers? What have you got to do to make it work? And the responsibilities for contract management, where does that lie? And does that vary by department, dependent on your level of provision? And also, are the standards for safeguarding sufficiently high, and how are they going to see that they are maintained throughout their supply chain? And also in terms of ease of audit and referencing. is that going to be easily done? Because obviously you're going to want to be able to check that and check those paper files and have satisfaction that they are done adequately, at least adequately. So, Vricipedia, how to engage with us. If you've liked this, please give us a follow on Twitter, or you can follow me directly, or you can look at our website if you want to engage to find out what else we do at Vric.Consulting, or you can email me, Steve at Vric.Consulting. And also, if you've liked this video, please like or subscribe or comment underneath. Okay, thank you very much. I hope to speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.